a failed Flora de Serie. Let's do this. The Lorena is a car here in Brazil, a failed Flora de Serie that embodies one man's hopes and ambitious dreams. A man with vision yet no capital. A visionary crushed by economic realities that governed Brazil's unique Flora de Serie market. During the late 60s to mid 90s, Brazil's import restrictions banned foreign automobiles.
It's a thank you no.
Creating a severe shortage of sports cars for the Brasileiros. We don't want your outside influencing meddlesome little fingers messing with our economy, no siree. Local builders filled this void with fiberglass.
Yeah, boy.
Bodywork made into the reliable Volkswagen platforms. This environment gave rise to the awesome and forever cool Flora de Series, the out-of-series vehicles. A golden era where small workshops, visionary engineers crafted custom sports cars to satisfy a public hungry, nay, salivating, starving for a beautiful sports car look. The origins of the Lorena GT lie with a man named Leon. Leon Lorenas is a Cordo, a Chilean entrepreneur and fiberglass specialist who had worked in the United States with Ferrer Motor Corporation. Ferrer produced the Ferrer GT kit car, which used fiberglass bodies on Volkswagen platforms. Recognizing the enormous potential of the Brazilian market, Leon obtained a license for the design, brought the original molds to Rio de Janeiro in 1968, and established production underneath the Lorena brand. Visually, the Lorena GT was a pretty freaking cool car, heavily inspired by such awesome legends as the GT40 and the Porsche 910. Forever cool designs, basically perfect designs. It featured a low swept-back nose, sculpted side air intakes, and a sleek fastback profile. The sleek, sexy fiberglass body stood in stark contrast to the utilitarian vehicles navigating the Brazilian roads at the time. Underneath its exotic shell, the Lorena was built on a unmodified Fusca platform, VW Beetle platform. Buyers could buy the car complete or they could buy it as a kit, which back then in Brazil and to Brazil now, the do-it-yourself isn't really part of the Brazilian culture. So Leon kind of missed that when he came here to Brazil, which hurt sales, you know. Gotta know your industry and the market in which you're selling your vehicle in.
What? No, dude!
While the standard vehicles could be purchased with the four-banger Boxster air-cooled motors, anything from a 1.3 liter to your 1.5 to your 1.6, and that's basically all we had down here at the time. We never got the Type 4 engines unless you kind of snuggled it in. But you know, despite the little tiny four-banger air-cooled motors, the body was fiberglass, so it did have some kick, and Brazil roads, especially at this time, the late 60s, early 70s, they were tiny roads. So going fast meant going fast-ish. You didn't have to go very fast to have fun down here. And with that being said, the car made its big splash on the racetrack, where fast is a necessity. Renowned Brazilian race drivers like Sidney, Sergio Cardoso recognized the aerodynamic potential of this little body, swapping out these standard little Fusca motors for the Type 4 VW motors, you know, the 914 motors, or maybe even the 912 moters. Probably came from the 914. They probably smuggled it in from Paraguay, is probably how I think they did it. Hey, baby boy, come here. Logan's with me. The resulting Lorena Porsche did extremely well on the racetrack, scoring victories in regional championships across Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, cementing the car's status as a legitimate track threat. Despite its striking exterior, those gorgeous looks, and its motorsport pedigree, the Lorena GT suffered from practical limitations off the track. The cabin was extremely cramped. The driver had to bend in unnatural ways to get in and out of that little cramped cabin. Plus, ergonomics, things like sound insulation, were basically non-existent. On top of that, fiberglass panel gaps and overall finish varied from vehicle to vehicle. In short, it wasn't well produced. Corporate instability further compound complications. Hindering the vehicle's commercial growth, the Lorena company suffered from manufacturing infrastructure and capital shortages, resulting in frequent corporate restructuring. An ambitious project to move the production to Manaus under the company Amazon Fiberglass failed to materialize, and manufacturing rights bounced between different firms, including Tambatia and later Plastic Reinforçado, which briefly produced the model Lorena RM. Ultimately, the Lorena GT could not survive the intense competition and structural shifts of the market. Coach building giants like Puma dominated the sports car market with superior sales, dealer distribution, and build quality, while major auto markets eventually stepped in with factory sports cars like the Volkswagen SP2, Sem Potential, the Tartaruga sports car. Oh my goodness. I love the SP2, but it's sports car only in looks. Let's be serious, people. It's beautiful, but to call the SP2 a sports car, it's not a sports car. It's not. No. With fewer than 100 units ever being built before production ceased in the early 1970s, the original Lorena GT faded from showrooms, remaining today as a rare and revered relic of a Brazilian independence automotive spirit, a man's dream, a man that had vision but just didn't have the capital to make it materialize. Man, that speaks to my soul. I feel so bad for that dude. You know, if he just had the backing that like maybe Puma had, if he had that type of infrastructure, this car really would have hit it off here in Brazil. But there's a catch, there's a big catch. The Lorena was not a Brasileiro at heart. And the Brazilians really supported other Brazilian sports cars, Brazilian ingenuity, Brazilian design. You know, look at Tony Bianco, a small coach builder, but has a car that resonates to this day down here in Brazil, a very rare and beautiful car. The Forest company, you know, Brazilian design, father and son doing a Brazilian design. Sure, they copied some European or Italian designs, but you know, who isn't inspired by those godfathers of design, of automotive design? Gosh, you know, tell me what you think of the Lorena. If you guys see one in North America, would you pick it up? I think I would. I definitely would. I would stick a big old LS motor in it, or heck, maybe I'll just ride it around on a VW chassis with a little air-cooled motor. I like the little Porsche 914 motors. Those are great, and they have, you know, pretty good kick for an old 50-plus-year-old motor. But let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments. Give a little thumbs up and share this with your primo. And like I always say, I'll see you on the flip side. Até a próxima. Ciao, ciao.